What's up? Hello, it's your astrology homegirl Q back with another astrological update for you. And if you haven't heard yet, we have a lot going on, most notably the total solar eclipse in the sign of Aries, along with the new moon in Aries as well. We have all these other transits happening on Monday, really supporting and adding flavor to this eclipse for us and like depth. But before we dive into all of that, because it is a lot, before we get into it, if you like what you're hearing here, if you're curious about your own spiritual journey or just like wanting to know how the stars are lining up for you, definitely check out the description box below to Work With Me 101. There's the links, all my emails. Just check it out, babes. Go in there, look around, see what's the happenings, and get back to me. That being said, let's dive into these transits because there is a lot happening, a lot shifting. This is very pivotal, transformative, like renewal of energy, of life is the vibe with this eclipse. So I just want to let you know, as always, it's a lot happening, but it's nothing that we cannot handle. We're just going to be able to intuitively and more intentionally channel the energy of the stars and work with them in a better form of communication. Now let's hop in because I've been talking for way too long. This is going on for quite a while. Let's hop in. So it's Monday, April 8th. We have a lot of energy starting this week off. It is pivotal, transformative energy that is going to be life-changing, okay? Now it won't be like abrupt life-changing, and Aries energy can feel quite abrupt or just like aggressive or just like very flashes, like hot flashes of heat or energy and change and transformation in your life. And with this total solar eclipse and new moon in the sign of Aries, along with a handful of other planets in the sign of Aries, we're going to be definitely feeling that. However, eclipses come in the energies of like 9 to 18 years, and with all this Aries energy and a lot of the other like aspects that are kind of shifting and changing around this time within this month even, we're assuming that this might be an energetic cycle of 18 years. So the start of the cycle is starting now. It is going to be a new karmic energetic cycle that will play itself out for the next 9 to 18 years, depending on the individual, depending on the situation. But we're thinking more so towards 18 years of just like full power, steam ahead, in Aries energy of like, let's change things, let's be the initiators. You're going to see that there's a lot of like revelations. Eclipses have the ability to either reveal things to us or to keep things in a shadow. This one gives very much the energy of like revealing some truths to us. We're going to be able to start gathering larger pieces of the puzzle that make sense to us so that we can move forward and like create the change that we need. Since this is in the sign of Aries, change is like definitely inevitable. Like the Aries is bringing the change. Aries is the catalyst for the change. And so it's going to be encouraging us to step into our confidence, step into our courage, cultivate the things that we need in order to change the things that we want to change and need to change for us. Is the new moon in itself is like kind of a Aries archetype or expression. With it being an eclipse, this is like 100 times that power. So definitely lean into doing the hard things. There's some like energy with Mercury being in retrograde, also in the sign of Aries, where it's just like there's this go power, this very hot, like there's this fiery initiative and passion to move forward and keep it pushing, okay? And push anybody that you need to out of your way as well. However, Mercury in retrograde in the sign of Aries is asking that like, hey, how about what if we just took it a little slow? You know what I'm saying? Like definitely change the things that need to change. Definitely step into your, your courage, your confidence, cultivate that passion within you to stand up and be the leader that you find yourself needing to be for yourself or for others. Mars, the depositor to the sun and the moon and Mercury and Venus, all in the sign of Aries, is in the sign of Pisces. So even though this is very Martian energy, Mars, the ruling planet of Aries, is actually in Venus's exaltation, which is quite lovely, passionate, compassionate energy, caring energy, empathetic energy. And so these things that we want to change, the things that we know we have to change, and this will be over 18 years of work, okay? The work will just start beginning. The work begins with this eclipse, and then we are going to work with it have it work through us, work before our eyes for the next 18 years. But the idea is to take this knowledge now and just like hold tight to it and just like remember and reflect back to it as things shift, as things change, as you're finding these opportunities for growth to come up for you. When you're asking if I should take this gig or not, should I do this thing or not, should I engage in this situation or not, should I behave this way, these will be things that like you can reflect back to and understand if this is for me or not. Specifically with where the eclipse and the new moon falls in your house. For me, it's my 5th house of creativity, of joy, of children and childbirth, and happiness and flirtation, and just art, music. This, what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And so this is such an incredible time to like really sit with yourself and allow for the healing to begin and take place in a very foundational way. Now we have Chiron also in the sign of Aries in that same house, closely conjuncted with the moon. And so it's giving us the opportunity to like thoroughly get down to the bottom of what's been like hitting us, you know what I'm saying? What's been hurting us, what's been holding us back, what's been making us fearful of living and being instead of having to do all the time. You know what I'm saying? So definitely use that doing energy that's usually propelled or like pushed forward or encouraged, fueled by fear, and instead have it be an initiative for you to step into a joyful state of being a completely different person, a completely different expression of who you've always expressed yourself to be. And again, 18 years. I'm not asking you all to like tomorrow go out and change everything about your lives, but this is a very pivotal time to change aspects of your life, of the lives around you, heal deeply and intentionally so that you can heal others deeply and intentionally. That will completely change your outlook on life and change the world around you in a very tangible way. And so, intangible, speaking about tangible, we are conjunct the North Node. The North Node is always reaching up and out. The South Node is like your regressive past life self. The North Node is supposed to be your like initiative forward, that fiery passion forward. But the North Node is also of the material world and like always wanting and striving for material gain and wealth and stability and investment as well, okay? And almost to like a state of insatiability, like you're never satisfied. Now, with the North Node being conjunct the new moon, because it's a total solar eclipse, what we're finding is that like, or what we can assume, what we can gather, what we can look out for is the idea that like we're going to be striving for excellence. We're going to be striving up and out for newness, for growth and expansion. And some of that may be material or fueled by material earthly things that make us want to step into our courage, make us want to step into this new warrior for life and for living. So definitely take all this in. I think this is like, what, 6 minutes? Oh my God, 7 minutes. 7 minutes of information on just the eclipse. But that makes so much sense because honestly, I could have done an entire video just on the eclipse. But it's just so pivotal to give yourself time, give those around you time, understand that we're all stepping to this new karmic cycle. And so we're all going to be affected in our own very particular ways and how these planets are going to be aspecting your own planets in your own chart. So definitely reach out to me if you're interested, if you want to know how to calculate that. But yeah, Tuesday, April 9th, we do have the moon ingressing into the lovely, lovely, compassionate sign of Taurus. However, it will square Pluto at like 7:22 a.m. So when we wake up, we might be finding that there's like a bit of intensity in the air. This isn't helped by the fact that later that evening, we do have a Venus-Uranus semi-square to one another, and that's going to intensify and bring some type of like conflict or upheaval in our personal, intimate relationships. So those you are close with or your partner may do something, say something, act a certain type of way, just give off a vibe that you're not feeling. And so definitely take things slow, try to communicate, don't get too taken aback. And I am no no saint in this, okay? Like, I have had my moments of having to reel it back in. So definitely just be aware that this energy might be a little touchy come Tuesday after that eclipse. Now, it's Wednesday, April 10th. We do have two transits that I'm particularly excited about. We have Mars conjoining Saturn in the sign of Pisces. This is structure meeting willpower under the sign and the influence and the themes of like spirituality, mystery, love at its highest octave, expressed in a deep, profound, and transformational way. We are talking about compassionate, artistic, creative growth and evolution and change and understanding, and like the wonderment around that, and the ability to really set goals under those themes and have the willpower to see them through, to have the stamina to actually go after and complete these things. Now, it's not going to be like a fast track, like you're one and done, you got the goal, you've completed the task, and now we're there. Saturn don't really move like that. So there's going to take some time and it will slowly unravel, but it's definitely going to be supportive energy for getting us to where we find ourselves needing to be after the eclipse energy has revealed what it has revealed for us, if that makes any sense, right? So definitely channel this energy, this very focused and determined energy into whatever goal, task, relationship, healing process that you find yourself to be within in the current moment. That being said, we also have the Taurus Moon conjoining Jupiter, and then later, a few hours after that, conjoining Uranus. This will give us a little bit of insight on like what the transits will look like in the future. We have in about like 10 days, Jupiter and Uranus conjoining. So that transit specifically, this one today, the 10th, will be giving us insight on what that transit will look like for us, because that might be a little bit more like transformative or like pivotal for the collective. But this one is going to have us like in a very festive mood. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be wanting to be in community. It's very lovely energy. Taurus in the sign, or Jupiter and Uranus in the sign of Taurus conjoining the moon in her own home sign, like, or her exaltation actually. So lovely energy, right? So definitely lean into that. It's been intense. It's been intense since Mercury started. Actually, before Mercury retrograde even started, it's been an intense shadow period moving into Mercury retrograde. Now we're here with the eclipse. Baby, we need a break. And this is the one. So definitely lean in. Like I said, I'm excited about this. If you can't tell the way that I'm going in on it, I'm excited about it. This should have only been like about 60 seconds, but here we are at two minutes. So yeah. Exciting energy Wednesday. I love Wednesdays. Thursday, April 8th, we got a lot going on, y'all. We got a lot of like ideas going. We got a lot of like epiphany feelings, like whoa, wow, revelations. The moon is moving into Gemini. We have that stimulating our intellect and our like emotional capacity to like intellectualize, or not intellectualize, but like make sense of and like remain curious about the things that we're feeling and experiencing. We also have the moon trining Pluto, further expanding and revealing and like exposing and bringing to light these ideas, these understandings, these acknowledgments, the curiosities. We're wanting to explore them. They might be a little intense. Pluto is known to be quite intense, so we might feel some intensity here, but is not anything that we can't handle. Like I always say, we're going to want to lean into it, especially with like the eclipse having already brought so many insights for us. We're curious, we're wanting, and we're striving to know and dig a little deeper to get to our goals of like true healing, true change, and transformation. This is definitely going to be helped, you know what I'm saying, or like we 10 toes down in this now because we have a cazimi happening with Mercury. And a cazimi is essentially when a planet is closing in on a conjunction with the sun, and then it actually conjoins the sun. So before it conjoins the sun, it's like real close and it's getting burnt up. Okay, yeah, that's better. So we have two planets, the sun and Mercury, and they've been coming together, but Mercury's being burnt up. Anything within 8 degrees of the sun, burnt up. Toasty, crispy, can't function, okay? So Mercury being in retrograde and also being in this state of being burnt up by the sun, but not actually being empowered and fueled by the sun, has left it very, very debilitated, okay? Or at least just like in a really bad state, beat up, okay? And so we haven't been able to really pull on Mercury's energies to like support us and help us. Checking the time to make sure I don't talk too long about this. Essentially, when Mercury and the sun conjoin, the sun is going to support, give life back to whatever planet that it has burned up, right? So when they pass one another, Mercury will now be rebirthed, okay? So it's now a new Mercury, a new planet. It is revitalized. It has been giving a new breath of life, okay? The sun has breathe life into it. And so we are going to feel creatively inspired. Our curiosity will skyrocket. It will be just expanding our mindset about what could even be imagined. It's a very wonderful time for Mercury. For mercurial people who have just been feeling like, oh my God, I'm tongue-tied. I can't focus. I can't think. I can't express myself. Travels have been ridiculous. We are going to be feeling very creative, very ignited, and supported in our abilities to just creatively think outside of the box and just like apply these new ways of thinking. So exciting time. Thursday, be prepared for it. Cazimi, Mercury Cazimi in the sign of Aries. Now, Friday, April 12th, we're at the end of the week here, folks, and we have the moon squaring Saturn that early morning around 7:20 a.m. So you might wake up feeling like not about it, okay? Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I'm in my feels, okay? Minor depression might be on the lingering mind if this week has been too, like, catastrophic in its revelations. So definitely give people space, give yourself time in the morning to really gather, ground yourself, get whatever serotonin and dopamine boost that you need. Keep a comfy, like I was gonna say blanket, but we're moving into spring. It's a little chilly in Minneapolis, but if it's chilly where you're at, grab your comfort blanket. If you need your tea, get the tea. Journal maybe, just to allow those feelings to wash through you. Now, later that day, we don't have a whole lot of transits that day, so that's nice. We do have 3 sextiles to the moon later that evening, really like uplifting and shifting the attitude and energies from early that morning. We have the moon, not conjoining, but sextiling Chiron, helping us address any deeply seated like insecurities that we may be feeling. We then have it sextiling Mercury, allowing us the capability and intellect to conceptualize and like make sense of what it is that we're feeling and even express it potentially. And then we have the moon sextiling the sun, and that's really going to be like, yeah, bitch, go ahead and express yourself, heal those insecurities. It's about you, and that's okay for it to be about you. You deserve, but you do have to address it. So very helpful, supportive energy, shifting it from the moon, Saturn square into these lovely sextiles by the end of Friday. Saturday, April 13th, we do have a few transits that's going to be shaking up the energy for us. The first one is a Gemini moon squaring Saturn, or no, not Saturn, Neptune. And it's like earlier in the day around 7:40, I want to say. So you might wake up or you might just be moving out about that morning, a little confused, a little dazed, just like in a fog, not feeling it, not vibes. So take it slow, right? Take it breezy, easy. We do have the moon then ingressing into the sign of sensitive Cancer, her home sign. So she's comfortable there. We might be feeling like we're able to emotionally soothe ourselves from the like confusion and upset of that morning. However, we do have a Mars semi-square to Pluto. So very, intense energy. It's intense energy, but it's a semi-square, so it's not hitting as hard as an actual square. But you might find that you're feeling the urge to like really just like assert yourself, to assert some type of dominance or prestige, or just like interject into some business that ain't yours to be interjecting in. So be mindful of where you're asserting yourself, how you're asserting yourself, and with who. The sun will be conjoining Aries later that evening, really giving us the courage for those who are lacking the courage and do need to assert themselves and kind of like position themselves in a position of power. Is the sun conjuncting Aries is going to like supplement you with that, okay? It's going to be the fuel you need to keep the passions going and the assertion felt. But if you are not needing to be doing all that, be mindful of this energy, assert your power in other ways, go out for a little run, a little jog, something that can be non-conflictual, because the Mars semi-squaring to Pluto definitely gives opportunity and space for that. However, we're not wanting to engage in that. That's not the new chapter of karmic growth and energy exchange that we're starting here. So definitely just be mindful of it. Don't allow it to consume you. Don't lean too much into it. And the day will be over before you know it. Now, Sunday, April 14th, we made it to the end of the week, y'all, but it is not going to be easy. We have the moon squaring Venus to start the day off with, and we're going to wake up possibly feeling a little defensive, a little on edge, a little back up or get done up type of energy. If it ain't for us, it really ain't for us type of vibe. It's hard for us to relate to the other. However, I am urging us to desperately try, at least. We do have the moon trining Saturn around 3 p.m., and that's going to help us gain a little bit of control, a little bit of stability, and understanding, some grounding around our emotions and our actions that we want to take behind those emotions and those feelings. I will say later that evening, however, we have another hard aspect. Well, we got three. We have Mercury squaring the moon. I think it's opposing Sirius, and it is square to Chiron. So very much so giving us some insight about the potentiality of there being some hurt feelings, some feelings of like betrayal possibly, or just feeling discontent within the family home specifically, or spaces and people that feel like home, family or home. So definitely just be mindful. I can't stress enough how important it is for us to be as nice and as kind, forgiving, and gracious as possible. We need it for ourselves to be able to move forward with all the information that we are downloading and receiving continuously throughout this week, and also the information, the insight, the feelings, and the life that we need to express to others takes a lot of work, takes a lot of energy. So definitely give yourself space, give folks around you space. Just sit with yourself and try to find the grounding that you need to move forward, to push forward, because time ain't stopping. Time is not gonna stop, baby. But we can take time to just like reground, fully conceptualize and deeply understand who we are, and strive to deeply understand the other. That's it. We should all deeply strive to understand the other. I think it's a mouthful to say, but we can do it. We can do that. That being said, I really hope that you enjoyed the insight, the information. I hope that you vibe with the vibes of the stars. I hope that this provides you a good amount of support throughout the week. Thank you for joining me, as always. If you like what you've heard here, if you want to help support the channel, definitely like, subscribe, comment, share, tell your people, tell your folks about the channel, about me. And if you would like to work with me one-on-one, definitely check out the description box below. I have all the links there for you. Anyway, y'all have a great day, a great weekend, a great week. Love ya. Bye.